How to attract and retain customers. Basic principles for business growth and success. Welcome to part 4. In this part, we're going to look at the customer life cycle. We've talked a little bit about it before when we were analyzing the consumer behavior, but we're going to go into it a bit more deeply. So what is the customer life cycle? It refers to the process of prospects becoming aware of a product, making a purchase from a brand, and ideally becoming a company's long-time customer. It is similar to the buyer's journey. The customer life cycle takes into account the customer's experience or what happens long after a prospect makes a purchase. So we start this particular model starts with attracting traffic. So all the activities that you do, all the social media marketing, you could do radio jingles, TV adverts, whatever it is you do, putting blog posts on your website, or a combination of things, newsletters, what have you, email newsletters, all the things that you do to attract traffic. That's the journey. That's where you start the journey. So you look for, remember the potential customer that we talked about. You attract traffic and you target what? Your potential customers. And then you capture leads. So the leads are people that have signed up for your email newsletter, for example. They are the people that follow your Instagram page, your YouTube channel, people that have shown an interest in something that you have to offer. It could be on social media, it could be through your email. They signed up for your email newsletter, they regularly visit your blog to read your articles. These are all leads, and you'd have different levels of leads. You'd have the very hot ones and then the ones that are just showing some interest, but you have to continuously nurture these prospects, and that brings us to this level. You have to continuously nurture them until they finally convert into a sale. When they convert into a sale, you do what? Deliver and satisfy. Again, remember what I said when we were talking about the different types of consumers. You must ensure that the very first time customers get a seamless and enjoyable experience. Deliver and satisfy. When they are satisfied, you can do what? Upsell to them. So they have bought one item and they were so happy, they were so pleased, the problem was solved, it exceeded their needs, it exceeded their expectations. So you can say, oh, Mr. Customer, we also have something else that you might be interested in. So do you have products and services that are complementary to your service offering or your products, that if you sell one, you can upsell another? Alternatively, offer another product to your customer. And then finally, you can get your customers to do what? Give you referrals to their friends, their connections, once they've had a wonderful experience with you. Now let's look at another model. This is from HubSpot. And this example, they have a 5-step customer experience lifecycle map starting from reach. Now, at the reach stage, they start with reach. At this stage, the customer is searching for a solution to a problem. This is your chance to what? Reach the customer with your product offering, with relevant marketing specifically targeted at them. So all the discussion that we've had before when we talked about customer profiling and segmentation, if you've done that properly, you should be able to reach the customer pretty effectively. You've analyzed who your target customer is. You've understood that your target customer, you're selling cookies, and this cookie is targeting people who are not too particular about their health. They want to, they want a little bit of sugar in their life. They want to enjoy themselves. They like pastry. They're upward moving. They don't always have time to cook. You've done all of that profiling and you are trying to reach them. So what is the communication that your communication will be designed around all of that? And you would have understood the age gap. Maybe the age of these people are the younger generation. They've got a lot of energy and they can burn the sugar quite quickly. They're not as particular about their health as the older generation who are trying to avoid sugar, for example. So it's the younger generation. These people play on TikTok and Instagram. So your marketing communication, you'd probably be very heavy on those two platforms, trying to reach your target customers in that space. So you've designed all of that and you're targeting them. So this stage is successful when the customer contacts you for more information. So that is reach. So again, if you remember the earlier discussion we had on your potential customer, this reach is trying to reach who? It's trying to reach the potential customers. When we now move on from reach to what? To acquisition. Now, at the acquisition stage, you've reached the customer, you've done all the communication, the customer has shown an interest in your product or your service. So this stage is successful when the customer gets to a point of contact. The customer has reached, is now responding to your marketing. They reach a point of contact, maybe like your website. They've come to your website, or they've signed up for your email letter, or they've sent a chat or an email to you. So you need to ensure that your customer can easily get you, they can easily get the required information. So the customer has seen your communication and is now asking further questions. These cookies, how can I place an order for them? So you must, when they come to your website, is there can they order for the product online? Is there a phone they can call, a phone number they can call? Is there a WhatsApp number that they can send a message to book an order, or to contact you to let you know that they are interested in getting the cookies? This has to be in place, or else you're going to lose that lead. So the customer needs to get the information. So you might want to, you might want to get some information so that you can get the customer's details and follow up. That's why sometimes when you get to a website, you see download our free newsletter. When you click on download, it's going to do what? It's going to ask you for your email address and some details. Why? Yes, you will download it, but once they have your email address, they can send you a reminder email. They can push newsletters to you. They can tell you about their other products and services that you might be interested in. So that's what we mean by getting some information. You might want, don't just give them everything they want. You want to be able to contact them and follow them up to see if they actually want they're interested in your product or service, and they actually want to make a say and make a purchase. So when we move from acquisition, we now move to what? Conversion. At the conversion level, what happens here is that the customer finally does what? Makes a purchase. So you want to ensure, like I said, remember the discussion we had, the new customer, first time purchase, you want to ensure that the purchase experience is easy and seamless, and that your offering exceeds the customer's expectation. So now the customer has made a purchase. Now we go on to retention. What they've done in retention is that they've said that this is the repeat customer. You want, after you've made a sale, you need to ensure that you follow up. You have a strong follow-up mechanism. You need to find out from the customer, did they enjoy the products? Did they enjoy the service? Will they eat? Did everything run smoothly? Did you meet or exceed their expectations? Get feedback. Ask questions. That's why sometimes when you purchase an item, you see a small survey pop up to say, can you quickly help us fill in this survey? What are they trying to do? They're trying to confirm that their product or service is running smoothly. So it's helpful if you actually take a few minutes to answer the questions of the survey. So you need to get feedback from your customer. Was delivery well executed? Sometimes we've bought a product. I know some of us have had that experience. You've bought a product is fantastic, but the delivery person was a nightmare. Maybe he was very rude. Maybe he just dumped the product in a and damaged the packaging, but the product inside was okay. Was the delivery good? Was it well executed? Would the customer purchase again? Would they refer a friend? At that stage, you can also upsell and offer more of your offerings to the customer. Most important here is keeping an eye on your communication channel, encouraging the customer to follow you on your social media channels and sign up for your newsletter. So the customer has made a purchase. You need to retain the customer. Get the customer to follow you on all your channels. If you've not done that already, or if the customer is not yet following, why? Because it's through your channels that the customer can maintain contact with you as a company, find out what's happening, are there new products and services, and it will most importantly continuously serve as a reminder that you're there and that you have an offering that can meet the customer's problem or solve the customer's problem. And finally, loyalty. So at loyalty stage, remember what we call the ambassador, the ambassador customer. That's what the loyalty stage is, when you turn your customers into ambassadors. Loyalty is where you encourage the customer to remain with your brand, build an emotional connection, ensure excellent support, and create engaging participatory content on your social media channels. So that continuous communicate and engagement. That's why you have to be very creative with your social media. You have Make it interactive, do competitions, tell people to maybe take a picture of the product or the service and tag you in it. Give free giveaways, little giveaways that make everybody excited. You see some posts and they will say, who is interested in a giveaway? The first 100 people to say like will get XYZ. These are all things to, one, boost your social media channel, also keep your network engaged, and attract new potential customers. So let's look at yet a third customer life cycle model. And you can see it's quite simple. Here, once again, we are starting from the explore stage, right? And we move on to evaluate. The customer does what? Purchases. Then you now expand it, as in the customer probably has a repeat purchase. Then renews the connection, let me put it like that, and then becomes what? An advocate. That's the loyalty stage. And then it goes on and goes round and round again. So here you've got the creation loop and the loyalty loop. Basically, all of them are saying the same thing. What you want to do is, one, attract a fresh customer, get them to buy, get them to repeat, get them to become a loyal customer, then get them to become what? An ambassador. So another example, basically, like I said, they're all saying the same thing. And it goes on and on like that. So you can compare all of these models. The life cycle starts here with the customer exploring options to solve the problem. This stage can be compared to the reach stage, like I explained earlier. Moving from explore, you grab your customer's attention and ensure that your offering can address their challenge or solve the problem that they have. The customer will evaluate all the options and do what? Make a choice. Hopefully, they'll choose your offering, which will result in a purchase. It is then your duty to offer complementary products or services or offerings, whatever it is that you sell, and encourage the customer to make a repeat purchase. Successful repeat transactions will result in the customer becoming an advocate of your brand. So basically, that is how it goes. The three different models, but all saying more or less the same thing. The idea is you need to attract the customer and get the customer to buy, get the customer to repeat, get the customer to become loyal, and get the customer to become an advocate. So your customer activation strategy is about motivating your customers to advance to the next level of their life cycle faster than they would usually do. So that's the whole conversation. You want them to do this quickly. You don't want the customer to be potential for 5 months and then finally make a purchase and use 2 months to make the purchase and then use another 3 months to make a repeat purchase. And you don't want that. You want this thing to happen as quickly as possible. As quickly as that customer has the problem, you want the customer to quickly buy. Why? Because the more sales you have, the better it is for your business. So we're going to go into activity once again. Like I said, I want to encourage you, do your activities. Now we've looked at 3 different templates. So using any of the templates that you feel is most suitable for you, draw up your current customer's life cycle. And if you can, like, how long does it take for you to attract new leads, for example, or potential customers? What's the average life cycle of that? What's the average time frame for that? How long does it take you to move a customer from potential to making a sale? Is there a way you can shorten that time frame? How long does it take you for, once a customer has sold and bought an item from you, how long does it take for that customer to do a repeat sale or do a repeat purchase? Sorry. How long does it take for a customer to come back a second time? Is the time frame long? Why is the time frame long? There could be genuine reasons for a long time frame. For example, the nature of the product. If I'm buying a car, for example, I'm not going to buy a car today and then 1 month later buy another one for my, I mean, it's not likely. I could, yes, but it might not, I mean, it might not happen that way, because cars are not things that you change frequently like that. But if I'm selling clothes or shoes, I'd expect that to be a shorter time frame between purchases. Again, variety. If I am selling a product or service that has a large variety of items, it might be easier for me to sell this large variety. So for the person selling retail like clothes or shoes, you've got a large variety. So your customer bought a black pair of shoes last week, and the customer can come back in about a month's time and look for a red pair of shoes or a blue pair of shoes, as the case may be. So it would be a little bit more frequent. So draw up your customer life cycle and analyze it. Review and assess your cycle and ask yourself, is it adequate? What can you do to shorten the time frame and in between any of the loops? And then how do you improve it? How can you create a better customer experience? How can you looking at your feedback, is there any negative feedback? What do you need to change that negative feedback? Is there a reason why a particular customer did not come back for a repeat purchase? Is there anything wrong? So even when customers don't come back, you could ask, are you satisfied with our service or our products? Would you buy from us again? Some people be upfront and say, no way, after what I went through, I'm not buying from you. So you could, oh, we're so sorry about that. How can we compensate you? So you might have to offer the customer something to compensate them. Why? Because you want them to make a repeat purchase. So do all of that. Like I said, do your activities, and then have a look at what you come up with, and make the necessary adjustments to your customer's life cycle where you can. And that's the end of this session. And I will meet you in part 5. Yeah.